Hey guys, welcome back to another interview here on the channel. What is going on? It's the new year. I'm pumped to be back. And today I have a very special guest. Actually, she's one of my friends also and colleagues. Today I'm talking to Karla from AIMS Global, which is I'd say they are an international kind of support group for supporting autistic children by helping and supporting the parents, which is really cool. We're going to go into all of that right now. Let's go. Karla, what's going on?
Hi, Dan. Thank you so much, and Happy New Year's to you and your family.
Oh yeah, Happy New Year to you too. It's been crazy. As everyone can tell, I've moved into a new house and this is my new office, but it's an absolute bomb site at the moment. So it's so I apologize to everybody about the background, but we're here. It's a new year. It kind of rhymed. That's cool. I'm wishing everybody has a good 2020, and you, Karla. I hope your new year was great.
Thank you. Yeah, no, great. We're pumped to help more parents. Really.
Yes. So as a little bit of a background, guys, I've been kind of like working with Karla and the team for about, I don't know, I'd say about 8 to 9 months now, even maybe a year, maybe, I don't know, who knows. And these guys are awesome. They actually have a great backpack out, which I do have, and it's in this box next to me, which I'm going to do a video on my Instagram. So if you haven't already checked out my Instagram, go follow me on Instagram. I will try and do a video on here where I show the backpack as well, but I don't know when it will be, so I can't give you a definite. But if you go and follow me on Instagram, they have a backpack, and it's like a sensory backpack made for kids, and it's absolutely amazing. I really do love it, and my son loves it too. So that's how we got involved, I think, because you were like creating products for autistic kids, which is obviously a huge thing that people do need. But since then, you guys have moved into like more education, learning, and training the actual parents, and trying to like how can you help the most children in the most effective way, I think would be a good way to explain it. So like, you know, what concerns do you think that autistic children have? Sorry, what concerns do you think that the parents of autistic children have, Karla? Like, how would you explain this?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we've been in the field of autism and related conditions for the last 17 years. And I think Nanette and I, mainly the concerns surround the child's communication, how they communicate, their sensory needs, a lot of anxiety issues, and functional communication is a big one, and then also social interaction, like how do we get our kids out there to make friends and to learn from their peers. So those concerns, I feel like, are the most important ones. Parents sometimes worry about the future. I think that's always in the back of their mind. But yeah, I think the most important thing is to help their child where they are right now.
Yeah. Would you say that like that the kind of like making friends, because like I got a lot of questions about this, right? Do you say that this is one of the main concerns, like making friends is kind of like up there at the top? And is this something that's quite common between all of the parents that you speak to?
I think, yes. I think making friends in their own way, right? I think parents, well, for the most part, parents really want what's best for their kids. So yeah, sure, they don't mind which friends they make. They just want them to be happy. And we've busted that myth a long time ago that autistic people don't want friends. They do want friends. Yeah. We just need to find a way for them to be able to make the friends that they want to have in their lives, and to have the similar interest involved.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I agree. It's not that they can't make friends or that they don't want to make friends. It's just that it's the process and how you find those specific friends, right? Kind of what type of support is available, and when is this type of support available?
So usually when a child is diagnosed, they're diagnosed by a pediatrician, and the pediatrician will recommend possibly a number of hours of behavioral therapy, or they will say, okay, let's start with speech therapy or occupational therapy and then see how that goes. It's quite overwhelming to receive a diagnosis as a parent. It's your child, and you go through a lot of different emotions, and then on top of that, sorry, yes.
No, I just, saying this, it reminded me of something I said in my last time I was alive before coronavirus. I was doing a lot of talks and keynotes, and one of the things in my keynotes is I was saying that when parents get this diagnosis for their kid, it's in a very drastic kind of negative environment, because it's a hospital or a clinic, and like nobody goes to a clinic for fun, do they? You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I've been diagnosed with something. That's great. It never happens. So but because autism neurological kind of developmental condition, it's different to kind of like saying, oh, you have a disease or something. So when parents have this environment that is normally negative, when they get the diagnosis, like you said, it's overwhelming. It's kind of like, oh my, there's something wrong. That's the key, is like they think it's something wrong when actually it's something that can be manageable, right? Which is what you're trying to portray.
Yes, exactly. And that, I don't think that is told to parents in the beginning. I think that we still need to do a lot of work there, how we translate that message, how we provide the message of your child's autistic, but that doesn't mean that he or she won't be able to learn, make friends, develop in typical ways or in their autistic ways, but not different to their peers, not that different to their peers. They just need the right type of support. And I feel like if parents go straight into all of these therapies, it's not just overwhelming for the child, but also for the parents, and that sometimes leads into issues with relationships, with the parents' relationship, and also with friends and family members. So I feel like there needs to be a bit of a pause. And what we found is that if parents educate themselves on some of the basics of what they can do themselves, they don't need to spend, the other thing is the financial aspect of this. They don't need to spend all this money on all these different therapies. Everyone's getting overwhelmed. We've seen this. It's a snowball effect. So I think that's why we're focusing so much on parent education and training.
Yeah, and I think that, a lot of it, I'm not saying that there's like scammers out there, but what I'm trying to say is that sometimes you get clinics that have just created so many different programs because obviously they're trying to stay afloat and above board, and they're recommending all things to you. And you think, oh, do I need all of this stuff? And so parents kind of sucked into this negative kind of thing. It's overwhelming. You're like, oh, I'm going to buy all this stuff. And sometimes it's like, have you just wasted money? Like you said, and then that strain on your relationship, the mom and dad might be like, oh, we've got a financial strain as well as this kind of emotional strain. It's really interesting. But above that, like, are there any issues that you see in the current support services that are available?
Yeah, I mean, you just highlighted one of them, right? And that's probably the biggest one, is that if a parent receives a diagnosis for their child and they are recommended a certain number of hours of therapy, they go to this therapeutic setting, and it's the amounts that they're charging are massive. And now the parent is thinking, okay, well, I need to do this because the professional is recommending this to me. But I don't, like, from the years of experience that I have speaking to professors and autistic adults and advocates like yourself, that we've learned, Nanette, myself at AIMS Global, have learned that they don't actually need all this therapy. Like, we can decrease the amount of therapy easily and financially sustainable. So to keep things a little bit more affordable, because this is not just a one-year thing. Your child's autistic, he or she for life. Yes, exactly.
So it's kind of like you're optimizing the support route, right? So rather than kind of like just like shooting in the dark, right? You're kind of giving them a bit more direct. And it's really interesting because, like, there are so many different people trying to do different things, and it's so hard for the parents to kind of like navigate through this and think, what's what. And it's something interesting, actually. So Karla mentioned that, she'd done, she'd obviously done years of research, but she's also interviewed a lot of different people. So if you want to check out their YouTube channel, which most of the interviews are hosted on currently, I will leave a link for everything in the description of this video and in the show notes of this podcast. So, Karla, here's a question: like, how do you help overcome the issues and all the kind of challenging issues that parents have currently? Like, how do you guys help that?
So we've got various options. I mean, we do have therapists available to work with the parents in their homes. That is one of the options that we have. We've also got online therapists available, and therapy, and then supervision. But the one thing that we really focus on is, like I said, the parent trainings. And at the moment, we're teaching parents how to create an autism-friendly environment at home, how to interact with their child successfully, and how to increase functional communication. And that leads then into a decrease in anxiety. Because if your child is able to communicate in his or her way, best way possible, then for them, their anxiety will decrease automatically.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because I think that anxiety is one of the biggest kind of like, because there's all this other stuff. Obviously, autism causes a lot of issues, but like anxiety seems to be kind of like at the pinnacle of like that's as soon as you have like a bulk load of like anxiousness and anxiety, everything else kind of crumbles away. So like if you can hit that and you can kind of attack that and say, okay, how do we sort this worry out? Because anxiety is a worry, and worry is a byproduct from something that hasn't happened. So there's a lot of different ways that you can attach that. And I think you're right. If you can hit anxiety, and the other things will become a little bit more easy because they're more manageable or they're more optimized, right?
Yes. Sorry, I just wanted to say with that anxiety, it is so important to note that if your child is going to therapies that are pushing a child to the point where we were told in one of the training programs that I went through and I went out of was that we need to break our kids into learning, and that is horrible for any child. So we need to see it from the other side, from an autistic person's side and from an autistic child's side. And that's what we tried with AIMS Global to do, because we're a holistic form of therapy, and we need to focus on the awareness, the interest, the movement, and the sensory, and that's why AIMS is called AIMS.
No, and it's interesting because like it's not just the type of therapy or the type of kind of like help and support you offer. It's the people who offer that support. One of the things I met, you could be like somebody who doesn't really care about kids, but it's in that role. Because it's a good job or whatever, and they went to college for it, and then now they're teaching kids and they're not even that approachable, they're not very charismatic. But I know you guys very well. I know Nanette, like I know Karla, like these guys are really nice, so if anybody was going to be like getting some therapy or training or whatever or support from these people, that it's good because these people care. Nanette's a parent, like you guys have, you know what I mean, you're not, how can I explain, you're not negative or you're not in it just for the job, you're in it because you want to help people, right? And this is super important.
Thank you.
AIMS Global, you guys are hosting a live free webinar helping train parents. Tell us about it and let us know what it's all about.
Yes, of course. We're very excited about this. The first one is actually coming up this Saturday, and the times vary, depending on where you are. So it's 9 a.m. UK time. And we are going to focus on providing parents with practical support strategies. So these are going to include templates that they can print, immediately utilize with their child to increase functional communication, collaboration, so working with their child, increasing social skills, increasing coping skills so that the anxiety again can decrease. So it's really we try to hit all the most important concepts to help the parent and the child, and then from there on, that provides the parents such a nice solid base. Wow. That they can then increase more of the other stuff that their child might need, whether it is academics or self-help skills or independent skills.
Interesting. So I'm actually I want to join this. So how do people sign up for this free webinar? And what can they expect from the sign up process?
Okay, so we've got a landing page where they can just go to, and I can share that link with you. Okay. And they just
put it in the description.
Thank you. They just need to sign up with their email address, and then we will send the date that they can register for. There's still some spaces available, but it is free, and we will be sharing all our notes. It's going to be Nanette, Berta, and myself, so the two founders of AIMS Global. And we will share everything that we've learned from autistic adults and the professors and everyone, all the speech therapists and the OTs that we work with. So we're very excited about this. I'm excited.
I'm pumped about it. You guys are amazing. And this is something really interesting. I know you guys very well, and you guys are very well educated, and I think there's gonna be a lot of value in that, to be honest with you, and it's completely free. So if you want to sign up, make sure you do now. Like Karla said, sign up. If you use that sign up page, they'll ping you a message. And this is something important. So can people join on their cell phone or their tablet and computer, or is it just computer only? Can they use multi-platforms?
Yeah, they can use any platform to sign up, and they can also use any platform to join the webinar, because it's going to be on Zoom. Okay. So we'll send the link through as soon as they sign up. We'll send through a link that they need to follow to make sure that they attend the workshop.
And for anybody, any technophobes out there who are listening and watching, you can enter any Zoom call using a web browser on your phone or your tablet. You don't actually have to have the Zoom app, but it does help. So if you want to download Zoom, make an account, that does help. But don't be afraid of going, oh, I don't have Zoom. It doesn't matter. You can just click the link and it just loads in your browser. and everything's cool. So, Karla, thank you so much for joining me today. I am super pumped to join your webinar. Actually, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be front row. So, guys, if you want to be in to check out what Ames Global are up to, check out their free webinar, learn some awesome skills. If you're a parent of an autistic kid or anybody who's interested in this, make sure to check out the links in the description down below. I will also leave a link for their social media so you can check out the videos they pump out on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Very cool stuff. These guys are awesome, and yours truly recommends. So, guys, I'll see you in the next video, and I'll see you on the course. Peace.